Hey now, Dad Brow Gaming coming back at you with another episode of our solo battles breakdown. We'll give you an update of where we're at this week, but we want to go in depth. The playbook, the abilities, some of the roster things that you're going to need to put up these kind of scores. You can ignore that Eagles game I've got over there. We had a bad fourth quarter late at night. Should have went to bed. Anyways, we've got the plays right here. This is what you need to put up these kind of scores. Don't go anywhere. We're going to show you right now.
Daddy, are you here?
All right, Dad Brow coming back at you again with another episode of our solo battles breakdown, episode 2. We want to go over the abilities and the playbooks that we use to achieve top 100, most of the time top 50 solo battle status. So we do use a playbook. It has a formation, strong eye, twins over. It has our money plays that we use to cheese all over the field in solo battles. In any offline mode, for that fact, you can just roll through solos running these plays. Anywho, we're going to show you where to find it and how to get it right now. Okay, so here we are in the auction house. It's called Alternate Offense Run Heavy in Mutt. The website that we get playbooks from calls it Power Run or something different. But anyways, this is the exact playbook for your offense. Sometimes there's not a lot of them on the blocks. We'll show you a set, but just keep in mind the prices range anywhere from $3,000, sometimes up to $15,000. So let's look at the set, just in case there's none or they're too expensive. All right, so if you want to roll for the set, you find it over here in the exchange sets. We go over to the team items. Down at the bottom of team items is where you find the alternate playbooks. You need any 10 gold players. It's not a guarantee you're going to get it, but there's only a handful you can roll for. If you don't get the one you want, you can always sell on the block for a few thousand. You're just risking golds and pack trash anyways. Okay, and defensively, we're going to run a lot of mid blitz, and then everybody that has special teams, you can choose the squeeze block and audible into punt safe man. I listed all the playbooks below. I took this from huddle.gg, by the way. Great website if you ever want to know about playbooks, but here's all the playbooks you can find mid blitz in. But this is all you need for defense, and that's why it's important to have the right abilities and the right slots, because we need the proper people to be X's on these plays and the proper people to be squares and circles. So let's take a look at some abilities. All right, so abilities matter. They matter almost more than anything else in Madden, and they matter in solo battles as well. On offense, there's a lot of AP you can play with and do what you would like. I'm going to show you what I think is required to run the playbook that we're going to run, and then we'll talk about the different player archetypes as well. So if we look, when we want to run the ball in this offense, our guards, they pull to the outside and block for us. So on Marquise Pouncey and on Quentin Nelson, we have puller elite on both of them. I think that just makes sense, right? And then your receiver, because you're going to throw the ball to one receiver 35, maybe 40 times a game. Make sure that they are very speedy and they've got route tech. When I say very speedy, mid-90s, that's what we need. And then route tech. If you don't have a route running archetype receiver, pick one up because they get route tech for only 2 AP. On your halfback, I would absolutely recommend getting balance beam, because we don't want them to trip over a guard or, when they're trying to skirt around somebody, step out of bounds accidentally. So balance beam is normally 1 AP on almost everybody, I'm pretty sure. The rest of the AP, I absolutely would recommend a passing ability on your quarterback, like Gunslinger, Set Feet Elite, or Pass Lead Elite. Those are okay as well. The rest of the AP you can play around with and do what you would like. So we'll go in and look. We do on our quarterback, we went ahead and put sideline dead eye, pocket dead eye. We might as well put some accuracies on there, but I don't think it's required. There's Quentin Nelson with the puller elite. Jonathan Taylor, we also use backfield master because there's a 2-point conversion play we like to run with him out of the backfield, and it just helps. It's got a hidden route tech feature inside of backfield master, so it's nice to have. It's not a necessity. And then we got Marquise Pouncey. So there's our 14 AP on offense. But you can play around with whatever else you want. You don't have to have a dead eye in your quarterback. If you're using a lower end quarterback, it's nice to have them. All right, so defensive abilities, we're a little bit more just stuck into what works within the defensive scheme we're going to try and run. To give you kind of an idea, almost everything's going to be a man coverage. We're going to be blitzing. We're going to be bringing pressure. So short route KO. We want that. We're going to have 5 players playing in coverage, covering receivers and tight ends and running backs. So we need to pick 5 players, mostly secondary, of course, that we want to put short route KO on. Now, depending on which archetype defensive backs you have, some people that's only going to cost 1 AP, some people it's going to cost more. We're not particularly set up from a roster standpoint to have a bunch of man coverage defensive backs, but we still do it. We can make it work, but it costs extra AP for almost everyone we have. So when we look at Taylor Mace, that's going to be somebody in coverage, short route KO. Ted Hendricks in coverage, short route KO. Cam in coverage, short route KO. Ty Law in coverage, short route KO. Richard Sherman in coverage, short route KO. Everyone else that's on this lineup screen, we won't even see them in a game. Just those 5 players are going to be playing coverage. And then Sean Taylor's our user, and much like the setup we use in head-to-head, I don't put any abilities on my user because I'm going to be controlling them. Some people do put abilities on them. That's fine. If you have the extra AP and you feel more comfortable with it, go ahead. I've never seen a need for it. But as far as how we play coverage, we need short route KO on those people. Hopefully I've stressed that enough. The other defensive abilities that I think are important are inside stuff. So we have that on one of our defensive tackles here, Al Woods. Our other defensive tackle we have in our specialist tab. So that's Haloti Nada with inside stuff. Both of them cost 1 AP because they're run stuff or defensive tackles. If you have a different defensive tackle, it might cost 2 or even 3 AP for you. So just depends on what your AP costs as far as what you're going to do with the rest of the abilities on your defense. And I think I've got edge threat on Dwight Freeney. And that might be the only other ability we have on defense. When we play head-to-head, we use Lurker on our linebackers in coverage, but our linebackers aren't going to play coverage in solo battles, so leaving them unactivated is not a big deal. So that's our defensive abilities. That's how we have it set up. Depending on your roster and your AP cost, you could do some other things. If you want additional pass rush help, you could put it on there, but we're going to be getting our sacks from our users. So we're not going to rely on Dwight Freeney and Derek Thomas to rush the quarterback to generate our sacks. But that's a look at the defensive abilities. Those are ones I think are crucial. If you have different things that you like, go ahead and let us know. But so far, this has worked very well for us. I think Return Man's a great ability, especially if you don't have a great overall team or, one of the best receivers in the game. This is something that helps you in the special teams if you like to get those touchdowns at the end. If you're still struggling to hit regular thresholds, maybe this isn't the ability for you. But if you have human joystick, you can afford the AP and you get human joystick on any card. That's who you use in the return game, and that's who you try and pitch the ball to, give the ball to. Anyways, this Cordero Patterson's perfect for solo battles. If you haven't got it already, you need 2 ornaments, and 0 chill's almost over. But anyways, use it one step ahead. Human joystick, acrobat. This is ridiculous. We're not currently using the lineup because it doesn't work for our AP perspective, and we're trying some new corners that we spent a lot of coins on. So anyways, these are abilities that I think could be very effective. If you could afford the AP to have a bunch of man coverage corners run one step ahead, that's way better than short route KO. Why not? All right, so a couple other key things that we like to have on our roster. We like a speedy fullback. We use Marshawn Lynch. That just helps when they're blocking out in space, especially on your rushing plays. I like to sub in an extra lineman for the tight end because the tight end's not going to run routes. They're just going to block. So if you have somebody that's really good at run and pass block, why not just throw in a lineman? I'm sure there's tight ends will do just fine, though. And if you have a fullback that's not as fast as Marshawn Lynch, let us know how you do with it. I just think it's just a little bit safer to have somebody out there that has the speed to match a speedy halfback like Jonathan Taylor. When we go back to defense, it's important to talk about the user. I think it should be the fastest defender you have on your defense. It should be somebody that's tall. It should be somebody that hits hard because you're going to be making a lot of plays with your user. You're going to be putting their pads on other players' pads that carry the ball, and we want that ball on the floor. So whoever you like to use, go ahead and do that. We have a personal affinity to Sean Taylor, so that's when we just picked him up. We can't wait to rock the solo battle leaderboards with him for the next few weeks. Cam Chancellor's the perfect example, though. We could use him forever. Hopefully EA gives us some upgrades soon on him anyways. But those are some of the key positions, I think, that just add a little bit safer comfort zone if you do get in a position against a team that has a defender that's really good or a different ability that you don't normally see. Like, you could go up against somebody that has a cornerback that has one step ahead. So making sure you have a fast receiver with route tech is crucial. Otherwise, our entire game plan is crushed. All right, hopefully you feel good with how you can match up your abilities and your roster with this kind of performance in the playbook. I'm telling you, once we break it down and teach you how to run these plays, you're going to be able to score at will when you want. You'll be able to gain yards when you want. Defense, different story. We're going to have to play our butts off. But anyways, our performance this week, we're feeling really good. We had over 26K in every game we've played until we get up here to the Eagles game, late fourth quarter, late at night. And that could be the difference between top 25 rewards and top 50, or top 100 and not top 100. So make sure you're on top of your game. Otherwise, you're going to sit there and go, but we would have just waited. Okay, so we're going to wrap up these next 4 games. Hopefully we got some top 25 rewards for you next week. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you see, you know what to do. If you got questions about your team, our team, or you got some things you run in solo battles you want to drop for us, hit us up on Twitter. Until we see you next time, goodbye.